Peace and love, collective. Spirit has a message for you today. I heard we are in the final hour. I heard that the devil has been trying to dance with you. I'm speaking to someone who might have noticed that things begin to slow down a little bit, or so it appears. I'm speaking to someone who one day it seemed like things were going well, and the next day it seemed as though you were somehow being attacked or targeted. Spirit said that you are safe. Spirit said that yes, there are people who are trying to attack you. And we'll get into that more in a minute. But Spirit said that they're trying to fool you to believe that there is a hurricane coming. Now, I'm from Florida, so we experience this ever so often. But you'll see on the news all of these warnings about a Cat 5. You should go out and buy all these groceries. You should go out and prepare. And they scare the living daylights out of people. It's a scare tactic. It's giving glamour magic. I'll get into that in a moment. Spirit said they're trying to make you think that there is a Cat 5 hurricane that is occurring in your life. I'm hearing a tornado, everything being flipped upside down, when really it's just drizzling a little bit. That's right. Spirit said you will barely get wet. So don't you worry. Spirit said that yes, they are trying to attack you, but really you're just being tested. Spirit is testing you right now. Yes, your likes, your views might have slowed down. Spirit allowed that. Nothing happens without God's approval. Let me repeat that. Nothing happens without God's approval. I warned you guys that the devil was going to try to do a last dance. And I always talk about Job. Job was tested. Job was tested over and over and over. But guess who permitted it? God. He was going through an initiation is what I'm hearing. That's what it was symbolizing. An initiation. When you're going through an initiation into magic is what I'm hearing, or manifestation as some people call it, you have to go through test after test after test. Just like Job. So Spirit said, don't you worry. I will be your umbrella. I'm hearing your hair won't even get wet. So don't let the newscasters, don't allow the forecasters to scare you into selling your soul, into switching sides. And by switching sides, I mean you believing more in evil than in good. You believing more in the devil's power than in God's. This is the time where you stand firm. And you know that God has your back. Because I'm hearing superficiality. What they didn't bank on is the fact that you really don't care that much about all of this outside stuff. They want to mess with your business, you'll create a new one. They want to mess with your love life, you'll get a new one. They want to isolate you from your family, you'll get a new one. A person that is truly detached is unstoppable. Because you can try to take everything and anything from them, and it's not going to affect them as much as it would a person who is basing their value on exterior things, who is basing their value on external things, who is basing their value on other people's validation. Spirit said you are still the same powerful, lovable, divine being, whether you have one like or you have 10,000. So I mentioned earlier that one of their tactics was going to be glamour magic. And Spirit is so funny because they showed me a school prom and they said that these dances, they always have a theme. They always have a theme. And so the theme of this dance that the devil is trying to have with you is glamour magic. Now, let me just touch on the movie that I did a reading about the other day, which was The Craft. And I mentioned that in The Craft, there was this one part where towards the end of the movie, the girls, they created this glamour spell to make the girl, Sarah, think that her family had died in a plane crash. And it's so funny because they even manipulated the television where it forecasted this false news, this fake news. Okay? And so here she was freaking out, feeling guilty, thinking that, oh my God, I got my family killed and all of this other stuff because of this glamour spell that they had done to make her think that her parents were dead. Okay, so Spirit is saying they want you to think that your business is dead. They want you to think that your love life is dead. Thank you, Spirit. They want you to think that everything that you have created is dead. They want you to lose faith in yourself. They're trying to humble you. Okay? It's giving humble pie. They want to humble you. Oh, she thinks she's all that. Oh, she thinks she's him. She thinks she's her. Well, let's hit her where it hurts. They want to affect your confidence. But once again, they don't realize that your confidence is not built on external things. Your confidence is not built on people's validation. It's not built on how many likes or views that you can get in a day. And this is where you stand in your power. Spirit said, beloved, give it to me. Don't you raise a finger. Why? Because I can do a whole lot more harm than you can. It's 9/11 on the clock right now. Divine justice is being called because you are choosing peace. You are not reacting, you are responding. I talk a lot about you becoming that monster. I'm hearing Pretty Little Monster, so I'm seeing Harley Quinn again. Understand that you have to be calculated. Once you learn the devil's tactics, you must always be 10 steps ahead. Spirit said that yes, there are monitoring spirits that are running back and feeding them information, but you have divine intel. You see, Spirit warned me about what would happen before it even started happening. Divine intel. And I'm hearing divine wisdom. So yes, you might be tested here and there, but be thankful that you have the wisdom and knowledge to see through the illusions. It's one of the cards that I pulled from my goddess deck. Maya. I literally pulled that card. So yes, they are trying to paint illusions. They don't want you to like yourself. They don't want you to believe in yourself. They don't want you to be confident. So I want you to do the opposite of that. I want you to be confident. I want you to love yourself so unconditionally that nothing can move you. And I'm hearing I want you to be so unconditionally connected to God. Understand that these people want to draw a wedge between you and your relationship with God. They want you to think that nothing is going well in my life. Oh God, you've let me down again. No, God hasn't. I said in my message a while ago they could never stop anything. They might think that they have the power, but God was allowing that. They're working for God. And right now, you, my love, are being tested. So even if they want to wage a war against you, understand it's because they're upset. I want you to remain so unbothered. It's giving tea and crumpets. You're sitting in the royal palace minding your own business. Because God is taking care of it. Yes. And when you sit back and relax, you allow the angels to do their job. When you sit back and you relax and you embrace peace and stillness, you allow God to move things in your favor. Don't be afraid of stillness. I'm hearing recalibration. Sometimes God is recalibrating your field. Sometimes God is removing people and replacing them. So I'm hearing, do not allow what you see to sway what you know. Once again, do not allow what you see to sway what you know. What do you know? That God is more powerful than any of these people. That God made me a promise, a covenant, that I would be successful. That God made me a covenant that I would have a divine union, a healthy relationship with my divine counterpart. So I don't care what is happening on the outside. I don't care what life is reflecting to you right now. This is the test. Are you going to let life tell you a lie? Or are you going to believe and have faith in what God has told you, which is the truth? Do not believe their lies. This is divine intel that I am bringing you right now. Spirit is letting you know what they're doing. I want you to surrender is what I'm hearing. Surrender it to God. No matter what's happening, I want you to say, well, I surrender it to God. It's in God's hands. Everything is going to work out. And I want you to know that it's going to work out. That surrender is a weapon. You sitting there trying to fight them, that's what they want. They want to distract you. Focus was another card I pulled from the Goddess deck. Stay focused. Stay focused. Don't get distracted by the superficial things. Okay? You have a bigger purpose, and that cannot be touched. That cannot be tampered with, no matter how much they try. Spirit said, remember what side you're on. Remember who you're playing for, my love. The winning team. You're on the winning team. I'm seeing a basketball game. Maybe you were down in the first or second quarter, but baby, in this third and fourth quarter, you're making a comeback. 3s and 4s could be significant. Spirit said this is your comeback season, but understand the devil wants to do a final dance with you. That is to make you doubt. And I came across one of the carriers that we work with this morning, which is Tower Hill. So there is going to be a tower. But Spirit said also, remember that evil is unreal. Evil has no power, in other words, because evil works for God. Okay? So there is no separation. Empower yourself by knowing that darkness or evil has no power over you. They're working for God in order to test you. So don't fail the test. So my affirmation for you today, beloved, is everything is working out for me. Nothing can stand in my way. I am unstoppable. I am unbothered. I am deeply loved and supported by the universe. I am on my highest timeline. I am exactly where I am meant to be, and I surrender everything to God. I am safe. Spirit says, my love, to stay grounded in your destiny. This is only a short trial. It's giving a 3-day subscription. Once again, threes are significant. It's a short trial. It's just a little drizzle. Okay? So stay encouraged. See through the illusions. Remain faithful. And remain in a high vibration. Thank God for all of your success. Thank God for all of your abundance. You are abundant, my love, no matter what it looks like on the outside. So keep the faith. I love you. And remember, ebb and flow. Everything happens in cycles. So remain on a high vibration, no matter how many lows you may be experiencing. Affirm that you are abundant.